right, you know when future Deku says those narrations, you know it's about to be lit. But I always feel like he always kind of exaggerates on them. But this one is different because it's just like, and the long internship begins. So I'm just like, this is going to be lit because I was waiting for this so much. You guys know this. When we first saw Sir Nighteye and he was investigating Overhaul, I was just like, yep, Deku's gonna come in and then the whole investigation's gonna happen. We're gonna see either Sir versing Overhaul, we're gonna see either Muriel versing Overhaul or Deku versing it. And these things are coming closer, step by step we're getting into it. So I'm so excited. And I really do love the last narration when Deku says, my long internship began. Because you know this is gonna be a lovely arc. This arc is going to be so hype. It's going to be much longer than we realised. And I'm pretty excited for this because a lot of the arcs in Boku no Hero, they are quite short. I think the longest arc we've probably had was the Sports Festival. And that was from like 25 to like, what, 47 or something like that. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm so mainly because Overhaul definitely already is probably one of my favourite villains. Yeah, third best favorite villain. But I'm so excited for this. I love the build up as well. So the girl, she's running in and like the inner monologue. So she's screaming to herself. She's like, please, somebody, somebody. And then she bumps into Deku. Like, that's so heroic. Like, it's so cinematic as well, and I'll get to that in a second what I mean by that, but it's just so awesome. Like, she's running, bumps into Deku, and then Overhaul's entrance is just like, come on, we can't keep the heroes busy now. And I'm like, yo, this is gonna be lit. I love Overhaul's design. I've said this before, but I don't think I've said it into depth about, you know, like the suit and tie kind of thing. Anyone who wears a suit and tie is an RPG. If you're a villain and you're wearing a suit and tie, you know he's the real deal. So yeah, this chapter was amazing. Deku gets employed. Pretty much Nighteye was just mucking around with him. Nighteye already made his decision saying that I'm gonna employ you, even before Deku came, even before he saw Deku. So yeah, what I loved about it is though, we see in this chapter, yeah, Deku was kind of copying Gran Torino's moves and all that kind of stuff. So Deku learns off his senseis, of his teachers. And throughout all the dodging, throughout all the strategizing of, okay, where should I go next, because Sir Nighteye knows my future moves, Deku was still avoiding All Might memorabilia. I know a lot of people were theorizing that he was going to get the stamp by basically he was going to threaten to destroy the 10-year anniversary All Might memorabilia, and then obviously Sir Nighteye would have been brought to his knees and he was like, okay, chill. But no, nothing like that actually happened. Because if you think about it, would Deku even threaten that? Like, Deku's a fanboy like Nighteye. Deku wouldn't even kid about that. He wouldn't even try to joke about destroying it. So you can see that you saw the footprints and everything. They were like right above All Might's memorabilia, right below it. Like, Deku was being tactical. Like, so sensitive of his positioning, and I just love that. It does show you there's more than meets the eye to Deku. Obviously, what I definitely got from that is Deku, he's gotten so much more control over his powers. A lot more. Not only has he gotten this control of his maneuverability, because remember ages ago, this is when he first learned Full Cow, and I believe this was right at the start of the training arc, so around like chapter 60s, it was right after the Stain arc. They were having like a race, so Deku obviously used Full Cow, and he was jumping above the buildings and that, but he slipped because he obviously lost control in that. So it kind of shows you how much, it shows you how much Deku has grown. He's, you know, controlled his maneuverability and overall controlling of the quirks. I really did think that was quite important to know. Aside from that, we got, okay, Muriel's, I did love Muriel's heroic uniform, because it just looks freaking amazing. Like, he just looks like a beast. He's got the, like, the, what's it called, the guys, the, what is it, geysers? No. Not goggles. You know what I mean? He's got like, yeah, it looks lit, and then he's got his cape. And honestly, is this the first? No, All Might had a cape, but I think All Might stopped having a cape. Like, he had a cape in the Silver Age, or basically before the timeline of the series, because we saw it in one of the panels. But yeah, capes are awesome, especially for a hero, because Muriel is just a G. And his uniform. It just looks so awesome with the cape and everything. So I can't wait to see, you know, Mirio in action. And now I've kind of been, when we got the introduction of Overhaul, especially when we saw Overhaul versus Shigaraki a couple of chapters ago. Well, it wasn't even a fight, but you know what I mean. I really wanted to see Mirio versus Overhaul, because think about it, whoever Overhaul touches, you know, they basically get eviscerated, and obviously Mirio can slip through things. So I do think that'll be an awesome, it will be an awesome fight. Now, what we need to ask ourselves is, what's happening next chapter? What's gonna happen? Because bear in mind, Sir Nighteye and Bubble Girl, Mirio and Deku, they've all split up into pairs. So the pairs are Sir Nighteye and Bubble Girl, and Deku and Mirio. Now, Mirio and Deku, they're the ones that bumped into Overhaul and this little girl. And I want to talk about this little girl for a second. This little girl, now we need to ask ourselves, is she kidnapped, or is she, you know, part of a ploy? Is she part of, is she like working in alliance with Overhaul to try and bring in the heroes, and then maybe Overhaul can do something? I mainly believe she is kidnapped, like she's literally running away from Overhaul. We gotta understand, the thing is that Overhaul's smart, so obviously, yeah, Overhaul can chase this girl. He can get her in a second, but he's in the public. And bear in mind, a few panels before that, Sir Nighteye was talking about how the 8 precepts of death Overhaul, which his name's Kasaki, he's being very smart because he's not showing any criminal activity. And if he's not showing any criminal activity, Sir Nighteye, there are no grounds whatsoever to either file an arrest, to you know, go in and do something, because there are no grounds. They haven't got any evidence. So literally, what they're doing right now, Sir Nighteye, they're just waiting, pretty much. They're waiting for something to happen so they can then step in and then use that as proof against the court, against, you know, from them being arrested, all of that kind of stuff, against for them to be taken away, the villains to be taken away. So yeah, Overhaul is smart. So let's say this girl is kidnapped. Overhaul's not gonna come in the public, you know, create havoc, because he knows he doesn't want to blow his cover. We saw in the chapter when he was talking about the villain lines, he's got a plan. He's being quiet. He's being very smart about the way he's going about things. So yeah, that's why it makes total sense in this chapter. And he's just like, the way he talks, he's just like, let's not let's not busy the hero's day. Come on, let's go along. Eri, I believe that's her name, E-R-I. I'll have to check that again. But yeah, I think she's kidnapped, because obviously she's even saying to herself, because if you look at a couple of panels before, you see like footsteps running, and it's like darkness, and obviously that represents her mind, her inner monologue. So she's thinking, because she's saying, somebody please help me, somebody please. So yeah, she's running away from Overhaul. Now we need to ask ourselves, why is she running away? She can't just be a typical civilian, so she's obviously important. If she's a typical civilian, why would Overhaul even chase her? So she must be important. She's definitely going to be important to this arc. So it may be something like Deku and then they will rescue her from Overhaul. So this is what, 2 things can happen. 2 scenarios can happen in this arc. The girl goes with Overhaul, because obviously the way Overhaul's talking, the girl's just going to be so petrified that she knows that if she does something, Overhaul will react. So she'll be like, okay, she goes with Overhaul. But then Deku just feels uneasy about it. So maybe, you know, Deku and Mirio, or even Nighteye, they continue going on with their investigation. Maybe something like that. Or all Deku realizes who that person is. Because bear in mind, a couple of panels ago, Nighteye just showed the picture of Overhaul. So Deku does know who that is, but Deku's smart. Deku is very smart, because first of all, yeah, Deku's got his provisional license, so he is allowed to fight right now, technically. But Deku also wouldn't do that, because they're in a civilian and public setting, because he knows that if he does go against it, first of all, now I was just talking about the grounds. So Deku doesn't even have any grounds to do something. He doesn't have any evidence that they're doing criminal activity, so it's not like Deku can come in, charging in, and, you know, dishing out that Delaware smash to the face. He can't do something like that. And even if he does, obviously Overhaul's going to counteract that, and, you know, it would be a wrap for Deku. It would be game over for him. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen next chapter. It really is interesting to see what's going to happen. Definitely this girl, she does seem like she will be very important to this arc. Maybe like how Kota was in the camp arc kind of thing. Maybe something like that. But either way, I'm pretty excited. Now, bear in mind they split up, so if a fight does happen, I don't think it necessarily will. I think they're going to go back and retreat and something else is going to happen. I truly think, because obviously Deku says this is the start of my long internship. So I think something else is going to happen. I think the girl's probably going to retreat. Deku's going to feel like, yeah, something's not up. And then an event will occur, which means that Sir Nighteye and his office can then interfere. Something has to happen, which is criminal activity, blatant, explicit criminal activity for Sir Nighteye and all of them to get in. Otherwise, there are no grounds to do anything, and they'll probably even make they'll make more mess than they already planned to, if you see what I mean. So yeah. We'll have to see what happens in the next couple of chapters. Either way, this arc is going to be lit. I cannot wait to see what happens. You know, Overhaul is here. And I'm just so excited. So, aside from that, just to end off this video, I want to talk about the artwork in this chapter. Now, the artwork. Some people noticed this. I noticed it as well. Halfway through the chapter, the artwork, it looked like some of the drawings and the sketches, it looked like it weren't finished. It looked a little bit rougher, it looked a little bit more blocky, like you could actually see, you know, when people are drawing, first they'll draw. For example, let's give you, when someone draws, you know, they may draw like just the blocks of the body and then, you know, they'll define it and then they'll put the muscle on, stuff like that. It looked like some of the sketches were in stages of it being drawn. Like maybe one of the artists, because obviously Horikoshi has a team, so maybe one of them, they didn't manage to get it out on time. But I'm not complaining against it, because to be honest, I thought it looked awesome. I really did like the feel of that artwork, especially for some of the panels in it. For example, when Deku's kind of reaching out and jumping to Nighteye to grab the stamp. I thought it looked awesome. That kind of roughing of the panels and the artwork, it was sketchier, but it gave it a different feel. It was a bit more refreshing, and in my opinion it still looked amazing, so I loved it. I also noticed similar things was done in Black Clover as well. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I didn't think it was a bad thing in my opinion. Either way, it is on a weekly basis, like weekly manga, because they have a lot to do, so I'm not surprised sometimes that maybe they can't do everything on schedule and all that kind of stuff. But obviously that kind of artwork, if that wasn't intentional, that would get brushed up in the volumes. It would get brushed up. But either way, guys, please have your thoughts in the comments below what you thought about this chapter. Who do you think this girl is? What do you think her importance is going to be in this arc? Do you think this girl is someone that Overhaul wants to take and kidnap? Why would he want to do that? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked anything I'd say, please drop a like. That will be greatly appreciated. And subscribe for weekly reviews of Black Clover. I'll see you next week for that great news that has 129. Peace out, guys. Goodbye.